So, if you're in the auto industry, you already know the marketing game has changed. I mean, that's not exactly news. But the real question isn't if it's changed, it's how much. We're about to dive into a completely new playbook, one that's built from the ground up to use AI to cut through all that digital noise and, well, get some actual results for dealerships.
You know, this quote just hits the nail on the head. We're getting past all the buzzwords and looking at a fundamental shift in how things are done. It's really about rolling up your sleeves and doing the hard work to make marketing actually, well, work again in a world that AI is totally reshaping. And this, right here, is the heart of the problem. For years, dealerships have been pumping money into marketing strategies, only to find that the old methods are just failing. And what's the result? A lot more noise, but not a lot more customers. It's a really expensive and, frankly, super frustrating place to be.
Okay, so to really get the solution, we first have to understand the problem, right? So let's take a look at that old playbook and figure out exactly why it's just not connecting with car buyers anymore.
Oh yeah, you know these guys. We're talking about traditional SEO, the kind that was all about stuffing keywords everywhere. Social media feeds just clogged with those generic cookie-cutter, just-sold posts. And websites that, let's be honest, all look like clones of each other. The whole approach was built to chase what we call vanity metrics, clicks, impressions, but it completely misses the mark on building a real connection or actually driving sales in the world we live in today.
So what happened? Why did all this stuff just stop working? Well, it's not that the customer changed overnight. It's because the technology they used to find you completely changed. See, AI didn't just tweak the game, it picked up the rulebook and completely rewrote it. And the difference here is just, wow. It's night and day. The old way was all a numbers game, right? How many keywords can we rank for? How many blog posts did we crank out this month? But AI, it could not care less about that stuff. It cares about substance. It's asking much deeper questions like, who are you really? What are you actually known for? And does the story you're telling online even make sense? And this brings us to what might be the single most important point. Trust is the new digital currency. Before an AI is even going to think about recommending your dealership, it first has to trust that you are a real authoritative source. It's literally scanning for a consistent, coherent story across your entire digital world.
So, how do you build that kind of trust with a machine? Well, the first part of this new playbook is a strategy called Generative SEO, and it is designed from the ground up to speak the native language of AI.
Okay, let's break that down. Instead of just making content for people to look at, GSEO structures your information in a way that actually teaches the AI systems who you are. It's all about establishing your dealership as the #1 expert, the go-to source in your specific town or city.
This is the new mantra. It perfectly captures the change in mindset. You've got to stop playing that endless cat and mouse game of chasing individual keywords. Instead, you build this fortress of authority around entire topics, so you become the undeniable expert for best family SUVs in Denver, or the most trusted certified EV service center in Miami. And the process itself? It's actually super straightforward. Step 1, you teach the AI what your core identity is, what makes you, you. Step 2, you get crystal clear on exactly who your customer is. And then step 3, you give it the proof, the content, the reviews, the data that shows you are, without a doubt, the best and safest choice for that person.
But look, generative SEO is only half of it. It's one side of the coin. You can't just talk to the machines. You have to connect with actual people. And that's where the second part of this new playbook comes in: brand theater.
So think about this. It means you stop treating your social media like just another channel to run ads. You treat it like a stage. You move way beyond the generic posts, and you start turning your dealership into a really compelling story with your actual team, your real values, and the true stories of your customers.
And that right there, that's the whole point. When you do this right, potential customers don't just see another car ad. They see people just like them, making the same decisions they're about to make. And they start to build a real emotional connection with your brand before they've even thought about walking through your doors.
So what's the end result of all this? Your social media goes from being this random junk drawer of disconnected posts to a cohesive, binge-worthy story. Seriously, think of it like a mini-series about your dealership where every post is a new episode that builds on the last one. That's how you create genuine trust and real emotional connection.
All right, let's pull it all together now. Generative SEO and brand theater. They aren't separate things you do. They're two sides of the same coin.
and they work together to turn all that marketing chaos into real strategic clarity. So let's walk through this transformation. In search, you go from being totally invisible to AI to being a defined, cited authority. On social media, you go from random, disconnected posts to a story that actually makes sense. Your website goes from being this clunky, frustrating experience to a clear, simple journey for the buyer. And maybe most importantly, your marketing stops being just a bunch of separate tactics and becomes one unified engine that actually drives sales.
Let's be really clear about the endgame here. This new playbook isn't about just buying a slightly better marketing service. No way. This is a strategy for becoming a true market leader. It's about building a brand that's so clear, so authoritative, and so compelling that you become the only logical choice for both the AI and for your actual customers. You see, in this new world, being seen isn't a given anymore. It has to be earned. You earn it through clarity, you earn it through telling a coherent story, and you earn it through authority. So the question I want to leave you with is this: is your dealership building a presence that AI simply cannot ignore?